Love is a way of building to a crescendo. Ride if you will, ride it with me.
Good morning, everybody. Put that away. My teeth are great, by the way. As per normal, the lady who was cleaning my teeth said, "I'm so glad that you make my job easy." So, because I brush my teeth. So, and I will say, since changing to, what is it? Is it an Oral-B electric toothbrush, battery-powered toothbrush? My mouth has felt a ton cleaner, and I'm not endorsed by Oral-B or whomever makes the toothbrush that I use. If I was, I'd probably know which toothbrush I used. It's just saying, if you're worried about your teeth health, and what was really nice about our toothbrushes, it's got feedback to it. So I think it's like 30 seconds per area. So if you spend 30 seconds on one set of teeth, it'll buzz, different buzzing sound, and so you change to the next set of teeth. So, fronts on top and bottom, and backs on top and bottom. So about 30 seconds. So it's about a two minute run. It's done well. So I like it. Electric toothbrushes, endorsed by me. I know that's what everybody was waiting for, was the toothbrush endorsement. So this is the coffee from Goose Bridle Coffee Roasters, Miner's Medium. It's a coffee sample. So it's a wonderful smelling coffee, almost like caramel smell to it. We're gonna go up to about, I'm gonna do about 17 and a half. Well, let's do 17 to start with, because I'm gonna do a normal, air quotes. Imagine the air quotes. We're going to do a normal regular. And then I'm going to cut up some cherries. Probably about 2 cherries. I'll put them cherry side down in the portafilter. And we'll see what kind of flavor that imparts. And that's kind of nice with this, because I'm going to have the same coffee. Instead of going from one that was low to another that was low, that might have a different flavor profile. There's plenty in here to do what I need to do, or what I want to do. So I took this apart, cleaned it all out again. It is immaculate. You can clean the little cup up. Feel it vibrate. See, look at that. Look how shiny. It's so shiny in there. So 17 grams in, grab me filter. I need to put it in here, so we're going to heat it up. Big part of what I've learned through the experiences of using this device, this rock, is heating up what's going to be touching the coffee seems to be the thing to do. And it doesn't have to be the ripping hot 200 degrees. You can get it up to a nice hot temperature, and that way it's not stealing heat, as much heat, because a lot of it is about getting the heat and kind of taking it for itself to heat itself up, rather than heating up the coffee or keeping the coffee hot, the coffee water hot. It's a lot of different words that I'm using there. So we're going to get that going. I'm going to get a paper towel. We're at the end of our roll here, it appears. Yep, we're at the end of the roll. Get a paper towel, have that ready to go. Brew chamber is warming up. Portafilter is already hot, which is great. We'll just keep on keeping on with that. Put it under here. And collect most of the water, because it does like to disperse. So we'll see. I went to the dentist yesterday. It was later in the day. I didn't get back home until like 3 o'clock, because I went out and I bought some stuff. I'm gonna make a key lime pie for my friend's daughter's graduation party on Saturday. Hopefully it doesn't rain, or at the very least it doesn't rain too much. He is out in the middle of nowhere, So it's going to be probably pants and shoes that can handle mud. So we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't rain and then just heat up and become awful. So, which is something that it tends to do out in the middle of the forest, because that's basically where his house is. It's out in the middle of a forest. So we'll be going to do that this weekend, and on Friday I'm going to make a key lime pie. I'm going to make it with condensed, or no, this is sweetened condensed milk. The recipe I'm following this time is sweetened condensed milk and 3 egg yolks, and then key limes for the filling, and then it's butter, graham crackers, and sugar for the pie crust. And I've got my pie crust tins right there, ready to go. I went to like 2 different places just trying to find pie tins. Everything that they've got in like a couple of stores was pie tins, but it already had the crust in it, and which is not what I wanted. It took a deep dive into a larger grocery store to find pie tins. So for whatever reason, I don't know. Actually had a decent lunch yesterday. Well, decent. I mean, come on. There's this place, Magoo's Chicken. They call themselves the filet mignon of chicken. The chicken's really good. Their fries are really good too. It's kind of like the big thing. I mean, I know the chicken's a big part of a chicken place, but if the fries aren't good, you're just not going to have a fun experience at the chicken place. Is how I go. So, all right, let's dump everything out. If I just do it nice and easy, is it still gonna? Okay. Ooh, it still spreads itself out a little bit. But if I just don't open all the floodgates all at once, it seems to be better if I do that. If I don't do that. All righty. Couple of clumps. Nothing to be worried about. Yeah, my glass is over there. I just realized I left it over there, so that's fine. Too much stuff all over the place, huh? Nice. In we go. In goes the water. As you do. Move some stuff around here. I guess we'll blot this out a little bit here. Yeah, got a little water in there too, huh? A little water everywhere. All right. 19 on the tick here. Kind of moved itself around a hair. There we go. I think we'll be all right. Water at the reasonable temperature. Let's get her started here. Down we go. Ooh, oh, this one might be a little fast. No, it's all right. Started coming out quickly, which was a little weird. But I think we're okay. Do about, what, 39 grams out-ish. Very chocolatey smell. That's good. Yeah, that'd be good. I bought more half and half. So while I was out running around stuff, I'm like, you know what? I'll grab that half and half too. So I've got more half and half, so we can fiddle with half and half next week. So that'll be nice. I'll go back to trying new things with well, not new things. I'll just go back to probably a chocolate with the half and half, and then maybe just a plain half. We'll do stuff. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Very sweet. Strong. Tasty. Very good. Not too bitter. I don't know, you've heard me talk about this one before. It was one of the first ones I think we did. And it turned out really well. Got rid of the box because the box was, well, I mean, it's a box and it's recyclable, so it got recycled. which is what we do. We recycled the box. So, and with it the book. So I don't really have all of the information on. Oh, here we go. Oops. I took the trash out and completely forgot to. I do that too. I'll do that a lot. I'll take the trash out and then squirrel, and then come back around and I'll be like, oh no, I didn't put trash in the thing. And then Matt will have put trash in it and will look at me like, what is wrong with you? So, well, the joke's on you, buddy. There's a lot wrong with me. So you are stuck with me, or you're not. So I think he's stuck with me. All right. We're gonna do a 17 again. It's adding. It's going to be quite a bit of cherries. I think 2 cherries are going to be very. 2 cherries minus the pit or stone in the middle. I don't know. Are they big enough to be called stones, or do they call them pits? I know mangoes have stones in them. I mean, because they're huge. They're freaking enormous stones. I don't know if different cultures call the seeds in the middle of fruit different things. So I always thought that was fascinating, because they don't call coffee beans beans in Colombia. They call them almonds, which might be as confusing, except for the fact they call beans down there are, gosh, I had the name for it in my head, but if you say something's a bean, they think it's chili beans or pinto beans, or those kind of black beans, those kind of beans. So when the first time I said, we got some coffee beans, our friends in Colombia looked at us like, coffee beans? So they think, I think because I lost one. Just for that, I'm going to add one back. Come here. So the culture and the way they say what we say up here is, of course, different. So, which is normal. It's what it should be. It should be different, because it's different regions, different, similar stuff as well, but mostly different. So yeah, they don't say coffee beans down there. They say coffee almonds. When we went to the tour on the coffee farm, they said coffee almonds. So because beans are soft things that you eat. So in that culture. So at least that was what I gathered from the culture. I could be completely wrong, but when they looked at me funny when I said coffee beans, and it was translated to be like, what? I keep wanting to say huevos rancheros, but that's like eggs. Huevos is eggs. I forget what beans are in Spanish Colombian language, but I do know that They look at you funny when you say, our friends looked at us funny when we said coffee beans. Ah, shit. Yeah, I did that. Completely did the thing that I didn't really want to do. All right, well, you know what? Let me tell you about that magic right there. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Yeah. Hang on. Hang still. Hang tough. Hang tight. Hang loose. Hang Chad. All right. I'm going to pick two. Nice looking. These are delicious, by the way. These are we got these at Costco. They're California cherries, apparently, but they are delicious. They are like Grater's ice cream flavored cherries. Really, I mean, they don't. I mean, there's no milk in them, so they don't taste like ice cream, but they taste like the same cherries that Grater's uses for their cherry chocolate chip. Okay, so that'll be 16.5 grams for those two cherries. Grab a knife. Whoop. Canoops. Stem out. I don't know what this is going to do. I do know that the raspberries added a wonderful taste. Oops, didn't quite match them up there. This is not a sharp knife, but all knives should be treated as if they were sharp. So these are also very juicy cherries. So they don't come away from the pit very easily, and they're going to stain the hell out of my hands. But boy, are they good. Where the fuck am I going to put that? All right. Do this one. Yeah, they don't come away. I mean, they come away when you eat them, because, I mean, your teeth are just pulling them away, so that's great. But they don't really seem, they're not, even the mangoes that I've gotten don't pull away from the stone very well. Not like an avocado. Avocados, I guess they're like made to pull away from their stone, it seems like. So, yeah, okay. Sure. Okay. All right. Now, how do I want to do this? All right. I think we'll just do it like this. Line the bottom with our cherries. Maybe we'll just do the 3. Yeah, that might be best. We'll just do the 3 here. Get my hands cleaned up. I have to heat the water back up back there. And it's funny because I talked about it and then played World of Warcraft with my buddy Tim the other night, and he said, yeah, because coffee cherries and cherries are like the same. They call them coffee cherries down there. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. They do call them coffee cherries down there. The fruit that comes off of the tree are referred to as cherries. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, they look like small cherries. They're not big. They're not big beans at all. The coffee cherries, but they taste like sweet grass. Which you would think would be like, I don't know if I want that. But it's actually quite pleasant. There are parts of the coffee itself that you don't want to eat. The outside of the bean is fine. The fruit on the outside is fine. And then there's a shell covering the bean that's toxic, is my understanding, is that it is toxic. And you don't want to, I mean, it's like a build-up kind of thing. You don't want to eat too many of them if you were forced to eat them for whatever reason. But yeah, so they are a toxic thing. Oh dear. Okay, we'll get it. I'll clean up any mess that rears its ugly head. Don't you worry. All right, let's see what we can see here. This will probably generate a lot more pressure. Hopefully we'll see the same results as we did the raspberries, which is there was more pressure, but there was just as much coffee coming out. But then again, the raspberries are a little bit more, I don't know, porous, whereas these, as you can kind of see, they're more suction-y, I would say. So they may trap themselves against some of the holes and not allow coffee to get through. So I don't know. We'll see. It does feel a little bit more hard. Oh, wow. The color of the coffee is already changing. It's now, and now it's kind of like a red color. I'm sorry you're not really able to see that. I should have set up a... Oh. I don't want the pressure to go any higher than that. It's very ambitious that it's going to, 300 PSI anyway. I'm sure this system is not designed for 300 PSI. But you can kind of see... There we go. We're going to get a lot of water out. We're going to get a lot of coffee water out. So, wow, look at the pressure build. That's great. We're in about, 35? 35 grams of coffee water out. 17 grams of coffee in. Wow, 36, 37. Pressure gauge is still dropping. 38, 39. Now with these fruity ones, because of the acidity, we'll probably see a lot less crema on the top. Just because, coffee, the crema comes from, where does the crema come from? It comes from the pressure reacting with the water, I think. And I believe the acidity would probably drop it, even though, look at that. It's a nice head on that. And the thing is, it didn't really develop until the end. When you watch the people on Instagram, it's like the crema kind of comes out first. Like the foamy head kind of comes out first, and then you start getting strands of coffee. It's really different with this because it seems like you get a lot of coffee to start with. And then near the end, the crema starts to build on the top. So I don't know. It's just like a different device. Let me take my knife here. So I don't have a spoon handy. Give it a little bit of a mix here. That's interesting. There's a little bit of a cherry taste to it, but it's definitely not as much as the raspberry. It's not squeezing out the flavor. It's pressure. And it is pushing against, but it's not like it's a cylinder pressing down on the coffee. It's just water and pressure built up with the coffee, forcing water through the bed, and then basically kind of through whatever's at the bottom of it. In the case of the raspberries are fragile. So that pressure is enough to start crushing the little areas around the small seeds on a raspberry. With the water pressure, so it'll impart a lot of the flavor. With cherries, these cherries are pretty hefty, and I wouldn't have gotten anything out of the cherry if I had not cut it in half. If I just put a whole one in there, it would have just sat there, and the outside wouldn't have caved because it's a pretty thick outside here. It's very tough, actually, and pretty thick. I don't know if you can spot that, but the outside getting to the fruit, it's pretty thick. These are delicious cherries, but they are imparting nothing. Except maybe a minute amount of flavor. Because, like I said, it's not a piston crushing the coffee to get the water out, pass the water through. It's all pressure. So nothing is touching the coffee itself. It's just the water pushing itself through. And if there's not, it did get up to 7 bars of pressure, 125 PSI coming through the machine, but it was not enough to crush the cherry to put it through and impart a bunch of its flavor, if that makes sense. We also have strawberries in there. It might be interesting to try it with a strawberry, but this is what I'm talking about. So, here's the half of the cherry. You see it's bouncy. It comes back into shape. It's got the thick outside. Here's the raspberries. These raspberries are they're like little jewels on the outside, and they're all their own little berries kind of stuck together. So when this gets crushed, even by a little bit, you get the juice coming out. You can kind of see it's glistening just a little bit. And that's all the pressure that was needed, not very much. If I do it with this, there's nothing coming out. It's just looking at me funny. It's glistening on the inside, but no, there's no additional glisten when I press. With this, if I keep pressing with that same amount of force, it spreads out and more juice comes out. So this lends itself a lot better to imparting its flavor into coffee. Cherries like this, not so much. So that's science, that's learning, you know. My apologies for doing that to you today. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that I learned something today. I hope you learned something today. This is a lot of fun. Cherries, especially these kind of cherries, don't seem, even though I put it down, face down like that, so that anything that it would come out came out of the filter, did not impart a lot of flavor. These, on the other hand, when they were used on Tuesday, imparted a great deal of flavor and were absolutely delicious. So this, if there's a tinge, if there's a note, I'm not getting it. So, so that's fascinating. That's really cool. I will talk to you next week. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope it's dry, and we will see you later. Bye. Ooh, actually, that's pretty freaking good. I guess that's another thing. Raspberries are a lot more, raspberries have more flavor than those cherries do. I mean, if you're crunching on a cherry for, you know, a good 20 seconds, you'll get all of the flavor of the cherry. But with that raspberry, you just got to pop it in your mouth and you're like, ah, raspberry. If you put a cherry in your mouth, a whole cherry, you got to break through. So, constant learning. Bye.